giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele, and I'm trying to fix some things while we're over here. This is one of those days. Oh, man, we got whooped. Here I am. Here we are, Cowboys Nation. They're going to be asking us. They're going to be calling. They're going to be checking today. They're going to be asking for real. Y'all still them boys? We still them boys. It's a game. We'll recap that embarrassing loss. We'll hear from Mike McCarthy on what he thinks of it, because I agree with some of what he said at the beginning of his press conference. We'll open those phone lines as usual, because we got to talk this through, Cowboys Nation. Got to talk it through, right? And then we might have a family meeting. There will be no cookout today. Cookouts are for celebrations. Cookouts are celebratory. You can't have a cookout when something bad happens. You have a cookout when there's a graduation. You have a cookout on the holidays. When there's a birthday. When there's something good that happens. You don't have a cookout when you get blown out like this. You have family meetings. Okay? So we're going to have a family meeting, later on in the show. We'll call some people downstairs. Sit down. We got to talk. The grades are not looking good. Yeah? Your behavior, I don't like it. You're talking back, right? You're not doing the dishes, doing the chores. Now I got to put you on punishment. I ain't got to whoop nobody's. Wait a minute. We ain't got to whoop nobody's butt yet. We'll just say that. We ain't got to whoop nobody's butt yet. But we got to have a family meeting, y'all. How is everybody doing here so far this morning? I know it's going to be one of those type of weeks where the trolls come back out. It was a weird day, a weird game. It got weird afterwards, too. I'm going to try my hardest not to be petty here, because it was real weird on these streets out here. You know what I'm saying? It gets real weird. But nonetheless, man, I'm going to keep my focus like the Cowboys should be doing. They should be keeping their focus, because it's one game. It's one game, and I'm going to stand on this, and we'll hear from the phone lines in the chat. I'm going to stand on that this was an anomaly more than it was, a normal thing, obviously. Cowboys are 6-2, 8 games in. This is the first time they've played like this. So we're going to talk about it, though. We'll talk about it. Real quick, though, let me get some shout-outs in the chat. James, hello, Coco, Anthony, Jacob, Tom Downey's burner account, Roland Ortiz, Anthony. Shout-out to Facebook in the building. They're deep over here this morning. Jonathan Scruggs, MD87, Jeremy, Sin City. What's up, Sin City? Wally OZ, Sully, Michael, Tamara. What's up, Tamara? Bruce. We got here Mike Harris, Felipe, all the way from France. Felipe, I appreciate you being here this morning after that whoop down all the way from France. Mom Dukes is in the building. Good morning, Mom Dukes. CJ Richards said you're allowed to have a bad game. Will Anthony, what's up, man? Oscar Sullivan, D Hardaway, Alpha Mason, Dorian, Captain America. Hey, Captain America, you got to tell America's team to not wear those stripes no more. It looked good. But boy. Stevie Mac, the My God. Marcus S.C., Lexi Boo, Aaron Lewis, Brandon, C. Burleson, and the many more that will be tuning in. If you can't catch the full live stream, run this thing back via here on YouTube or Facebook or the podcast platform, A to Z Sports Dallas Live, all podcasting platforms. All right? So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the roundup. Let me just make sure I got this roundup pulled up correctly, because it's been one of those kind of days. I do. So let's get into the roundup, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll come out of that. I'll hit the phone lines after I briefly go over. No, we'll do the first word, then we'll hit the phone lines. I got you, 210 and 682. Just hold tight.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time.
It is time for...
It's time for the Morning Roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
This is the Morning Roundup presented by Texas Family Fitness. A to Z Sports Live morning show presented by Texas Family Fitness. All right? Hey, whether you're looking for a solution for your fitness goals, weight loss, strength, toning up, sports, or stress relief, head over to TFF. They have everything you need from state-of-the-art equipment, group classes, experienced professional certified trainers, and much, much more. If you're looking to begin your fitness journey, do me a favor and head on over to any of the 9 locations in the DFW area or visit TexasFamilyFitness.com. All right, let's get into it, right? Let's get into it. Dak Prescott struggled, man. We'll dive all the way into the details, but after not having any action in 2 or 3 weeks, whatever it's been, I think October 17th was the last time he touched the field. He struggled. And we briefly talked about in the pregame show, me and Jesse Holly, we figured there'd be a little bit of rust, a couple possessions, get it out. It seemed like he never got out of it. It seemed like he just continued to play like he was asleep a little bit. And he'd be the first one to tell you that. He missed a ton of throws at the beginning of that game, and I don't think the offense helped out the defense at all when the defense was trying. And again, I'll talk about that as we move forward here. But I had to open up with that because we're gonna have a family meeting, and Dak Prescott need to come on down. Yeah? Hey, it's just one game, but we got to talk about it, right? We got to talk about it. Ezekiel Elliott, as we saw, was in and out of that game. Kind of concerning when I saw his knee wrapped up, but it comes out that it was a knee contusion, and this is out of his mouth. He says, "It's something I've been dealing with the past couple of weeks. Just a guy landing on it. I feel like he's going to be dealing with this knee all year, so we're really going to need Tony Pollard to be productive in his touches." Neither Tony Pollard or Zeke were particularly good yesterday, but I don't know that it was them. There just was nothing there. Hats off to the Denver defense, and Coach McCarthy will talk about that in the first word. And then finally, Micah the Menace I have here, because this is now back-to-back weeks with Micah Parsons, dude. He's not normal. He's not a normal player. I mean, this is his stat line yesterday. The only freaking bright spot in the entire ugly game. 10 tackles, 8 solo, 2 tackles for loss. 2.5 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and 3 quarterback hits from all over the field. If you want to find a silver lining in regards to the actual play in the game, because there's another silver lining I'll get to, it's Micah Parsons. Okay? This dude he's different. And we're talking about defensive of rookie of the year. Don't be surprised if at some point in his career, early in his career, if he is vying for the defensive player of the year. That's how impactful and versatile this cat is. Period. And speaking of defensive player of the year, our defensive player of the year candidate, come on, man. Come have a seat at this family meeting. We got to talk to you, Trayvon Diggs. Wasn't your day. And that's what we do, right? We're going to call out those who played well, call out those who haven't, and figure out if this is an anomaly, figure out if this is what's a trend, what's not a trend, and talk it through. We'll talk it through. But before I hop into the phone lines, let's just listen to what Mike McCarthy had to say about the game. The beginning of his press conference, to me, sums up the entire evening. Or day, not evening.
This game was so uncharacteristic of how you performed really on both sides of the ball. Just what do you attribute that to?
Well, I mean, first, I have to give Denver, credit for, they came in there. They had tremendous adversity that they faced coming into this game. Had concern Wednesday, as far as, the way we've come off some successful weeks, and the message was don't take the cheese, and frankly, we were outcoached, we were outplayed all the way through. So this is the first time I felt clearly our energy didn't exceed our opponent, and that's disappointing. But they came in aggressively. If you look at the way their defense played us from the start, they challenged our receivers, they challenged the box. they clearly were going to take away the run and put it on the passing game, and we didn't respond to that. Their run offense was significant, particularly yards after contact. So these are basics, things that felt like we were improving on. Just sitting there, before I came in here, just. Why does that happen to your team? Those are things that, you're always, focused on. But, maybe I've overcoached the penalties this week, because, we had so many, we all know where our numbers are. But we just weren't, we weren't the more physical team today. And I thought it showed up, and I give them a lot of credit.
Sure, Coach. Definitely have to give them a lot of credit. He said a few things that I was noticing early in that game. One of them was the energy. I kept looking over to Jesse. I kept saying, I'm not feeling it. And I said this at halftime. I'm not feeling the mannerisms. I'm not feeling the behavior, right? It doesn't look like they're all there. Usually in the other 7 games, the Cowboys had that energy. They had that physicality. He talked about that too, and Dak did too. He said this is the first time all year they've been out physical from every point of attack, from offense, defense, special teams, whatever. They were out physical, and then cheese, right? I probably took the cheese, and the reason why I say that is last week against Minnesota, we heard about Randy and Dalton saying not our best day at practice, right? Which I don't think that stuff should get out because that happens. But then they asked CD Lamb, how would you think practice was this week? Said, I don't think it was a good week of practice. Oh, okay. All right. Well, maybe this needed to happen then, right? And I can't think of a better place to have a game like that than this one. AFC opponent, you still remain 6-2. Look at yesterday's weird day in the NFL. You didn't lose any ground in the NFC. Literally nothing changed. Literally nothing changed in the division. So if you're going to get whooped, if you're going to get smacked to waking up or back into reality, or as some say, humble pie, because I'm eating some humble pie. I'm not going to lie to you. I felt a little say it with your chest over the last few weeks, and how could you not feel confident? I watched the tape of Denver and things like that. Me and Okoye talked about what they could do, what they can't do, and we came to the conclusion Dallas should get this victory. None of that happened. But if there was a game for all this to happen, you'd rather be this week than last week, this week than next week against the NFC opponents that are vying for playoff spots. So with that said, and everything that's the whole day, I had a whole night to sleep on it. I step back. I'm not going crazy over this game, y'all. I'm not. And I wasn't going crazy during the game because I kept saying, this doesn't look like the Dallas Cowboys. Not nowhere. Not quarterback, not running back, not blocking, not defense, except Michael Parsons. Nothing. It all looks strange. And that one play sums up that game, and we know what we're going to talk about, and it's the punt. Because I was pissed off when it happened. The rule is stupid, but it is the rule. They blocked the punt, but the punt went beyond the line of scrimmage. We touched it, so it's like a muff punt as opposed to a block. I think the rule's dumb. I think if a punt is blocked and it still goes beyond the line of scrimmage, that should negate anything. They should still have to advance it past the line of scrimmage. That's how I feel about the rule, whether it happened to me or not, or happened to the Cowboys or not. I think it's a dumb rule. But that play summed it all up. It summed it up. With that said, I'll get off my soliloquy here, and we'll jump into here what you guys have to say. 210, you was up in here first. What's up, 210?
What's up, Sky?
What's going on, man?
How you doing? This is my first time calling in, man. I've listened to your show for a while.
Welcome to the show.
But I have a quick thing to say real quick.
Sure.
I feel like Michael Parsons needs to be in the players' faces, man. I think he earns that respect from the players. In other words, like another Michael Irvin. I feel like, because I think he's the only one that's been consistent all year, but one game, I believe. That's one. Two, I feel like our fans let us down too, man. I was at the game,
my goodness.
And there was a crap load of Broncos fans. I felt like more of a away game.
That was an away game.
They go, and it was mine and my wife's anniversary. I took us to the game, spent a lot of money to go to the game, and I feel like it was just crazy Broncos fans over there, man. So I'm kind of disappointed on the Cowboys. I ain't gonna lie, I want to win. I don't care what anybody says. I'm tired of losing. But I felt like so the Cowboys, how they played, and the fans, man, let us down big time too, man. I was pretty upset. But that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to vent.
This is the day to vent.
Since we're America's, since we're America's team, we should be America's team. Not allow all these fans come to our stadium, to our house, and out cheer us. You know, it was kind of embarrassing, man. So
yeah.
I just want, and yes, we still are them boys, man. We're still the boys.
Yeah, one game, man.
Well, I just want to call you quick and tell you that real quick, but I'll get off the lines now. You have a good day, man.
Appreciate you, man. Hey, it's gonna be one of those days to vent, and I'm gonna let y'all vent. That's just how it is. Hell, I'm venting to y'all. We know how Mondays are. Mondays are raw. I did go back and watch the offensive side of the ball broadcast view, but I'm not gonna break down everything. It was very general from what I watched. Let me get you mute here. But he's not lying. I'm sitting there at Texas Live as I'm setting up, and then as I'm chilling, waiting for the game, I'm like, a lot of orange, and the orange pops, right? So it's not like it's the Panthers, or it's not like it's the who we play, the Giants. It was popping. I'm like, oh, maybe it's just Texas Live, right? Maybe it's just Texas Live. No, I seen some pictures from AT&T Stadium, and there was more orange than not. And I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I tweeted. I said, I can't believe how the Broncos, I didn't know they traveled like that. Someone told me there's a lot of Bronco fans in Dallas and Texas. I don't know. I'm not from here. So, but they showed out. And then after the game, the line was literally wrapped around Texas Live. 90% of those people were Bronco fans. It was the most packed I've seen that place all year, including any home game against the rival teams. The most packed with a ton of Bronco fans. So, yeah, a little disappointed in Cowboys Nation for getting outshined at home. The Lunatic, what you got, man?
Good morning, Sky, Cowboys Nation. Hey, we knew we weren't going to be undefeated. We know this streak was eventually going to end. Guess what? I'd rather have it on November the 7th than January 22nd or the 23rd. Now, what is January 22nd or the 23rd? That's the divisional round of the playoffs. Get this loss out of the way. You know, sometimes they're human. They are super freak athletes, but they are human. They get on a streak just like we do, and all of a sudden, hey, I gotta pick this up. Is more important than, hey, let me do my job on the field. Well, guess what? Denver came in there and they kicked our.
They whooped their ass. I'm gonna say it. They whooped their ass. I mean, it is what it is, the Lunatic, right? Like you can't put on this tape and be like, well, let me figure this out. They got their ass whooped. That's what happened.
Exactly. Except for Micah and Zeke coming out there with that knee contusion running. You know, yes, we got our butt whipped. Good. Denver, hey, congratulations. We'll see you again in 4 years, and then we'll talk again. But guess what? Now McCarthy can go in there. Hey, guys, game to game, let's build on something. Let's look at the film. Let's improve. I like that. I like what Dak said. That's what my franchise quarterback needs to say. It's always going to be, I need to get better.
Yeah.
I need to do this. I need to make smart decisions, because that's what a franchise quarterback does. He elevates the team. Is he rusty or whatever? Yes, he will fix that. You know he will fix that. So, yeah, Atlanta beat the Saints. Hell, Jacksonville beat the damn Bills. This is the NFL.
It was a weird day.
I'd rather – weird day, exactly. I mean, the Vikings took Baltimore to overtime.
No. Well, Baltimore won, so that don't matter. The Giants beat the this was a crazy day, man. The Giants beat the Raiders. Who just won? The Titans game was a good game, so it helped us out. You know, the Rams losing was supposed to be the best team, right? And then you had the Bills losing to the freaking Jaguars. The NFL, it's the NFL. This is why I say week to week league. You know, and I'll admit too. Like I said, I definitely started to feel a little bit good. I felt like I might have been starting to lose my way from week to week, even though I try to bring myself back and start thinking big picture. But this game is why we say week to week, because these teams, the line between being average and bad and average and good is not big. It's not.
Exactly. And the interesting or the thing that worries me again is our run defense. Can't wait for Gallimore to come back. Can't wait for D-Law to come back. Because against Denver, we gave up 4.6 yards a carry. Minnesota 4.2. New England 4.4.
No. See, no. I gotta stop you there. They shut down Minnesota. And that's why and I'm glad you brought up the run defense, lunatic. It was night and day, and Coach McCarthy talked about it. How in Minnesota can you shut down that run defense? You're forgetting a couple of the runs that Kirk Cousins had that adds on to their average. Don't look at the average. Go look at the game. They shut down that run defense, which is why I came into this game a little bit confident in the run game. But, boy, they wiped that completely away. Now you got to go back to the drawing board and say, how can we get better? Because the Denver Broncos just ran it down your throat.
And with 3 backup offensive linemen. But, again, here's what we either trust Dan Quinn or we don't. I trust them to go ahead and give that motivation, get that adjustment in there to go ahead and stop that run game. Because if you can't stop the run, it's not going to be a very nice game for you. But, look, let's get ready for Atlanta. We got this butt whipping. That's fine. I'll take it. This is the NFL. I've been through 1-15 and 3 straight 5-11 seasons. I know this team is different because how are they going to react? And we're going to see it Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons.
Indeed, brother.
Hey, thank you, Sky, again, Cowboys Nation. Keep your heads up. Don't worry. Tell them we're still them boys. It happens in the NFL.
It happens, man.
Just tell them that. It happens in the NFL. And always, puro pinche Cowboys. Thank you, Sky.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was one of those days. It's one of those days. And he's right. Like, you're not. I know everyone was saying 16. Well, I wasn't saying 16. I don't say that stuff. But 16-1, right? You're going to drop games. When and how you drop them is the important part. If you're dropping them at this point of the season, or a game at this point of the season, and not at the end, I'll take it. Right? I'll take it. Now, as fans, we'll probably watch this game over and over. Or not over and over, but as a creator, I'll watch it so I can give you guys researched and educated opinions. If I'm them, I said this before. I know we always say burn the tape, and I still believe that. But they'll probably go look at some. But what is Dak going to watch, right? Like, what is Dak going to watch and be like, yeah, I didn't see that before. I mean, you know what I mean? He missed throws yesterday. What is Zeke going to watch? What is TP going to watch? How to catch the ball? What is Coop going to watch? How to catch the ball? It was just everything went wrong. Cousin Murphy's Law was there yesterday. On top of just getting whooped, right? Like, not only were they getting whooped, Murphy's Law was also there yesterday. It happens. Mel, what's up with you, brother?
What's going on, my man? It's not a Victory Monday today.
No cookouts today, brother. We have family meetings.
No cookouts today. Hey, man, it's the league. You know how we feel. We talk about it all the time. Yeah. It happens, man. It's not a big deal. If you looked around the league yesterday, man, it was just one of those weird days. You looked at and you looked at the Rams. Oh, the Rams is the best team. They got smoked. Oh, this team is the best team. They got smoked. Oh, the Bills, they front runners in the AFC. They got smoked. So, I mean, it's the league, man. All these guys are getting paid millions of dollars. It happens. Dallas is still an elite team. Don't start with this is not a Super Bowl team. Look, somebody's going to win the Super Bowl this year, and that team is not going to be a perfect team.
Right.
The team that wins the Super Bowl this year is going to be imperfect. And there's still no reason why that team cannot be us.
Sure.
So if you had Super Bowl admirations before week whatever this was it week 8, week 7?
Week 9, I believe.
Damn. Okay. All right. If you have Super Bowl aspirations for this team before week 9, you should still have them. Now if they go and they start dropping a bunch of games, now we could that's a different conversation. But right. So far, I'm not looking at the team no different than I was going into the game. Then I'm looking at him now. Dak is still in the lead. Amari hadn't dropped a pass in like the whole season. This game he dropped. I mean, it was freaky. It was just like Amari dropped the pass. How often do you block a punt and the other team still keeps the ball?
I ain't never seen it in my life. I wish they changed that rule that if it's blocked, you don't have to do that. But I mean, it was just one of those games, man.
It was just one of those games. And you know what? I hear you with that. But if they had blocked our punt and we had kept the ball, I'd be saying it's a good rule. So I mean, it's just weird. You know, it's just one of those weird games, bro. It just was not meant to be. It just was not meant to be.
That's the play. That's the play right there, man. When I was like, dog, this ain't it. This ain't our day. This ain't our day. You block a punt and you don't get the punt. This ain't our day. You know, you just gonna have to just get out of here healthy and fight. That's what I wanted to see at the end of that game. Get out of here healthy and fight.
And I know people were like, man, why did Dak stay in there? Dak needed to stay in there. And I know people are probably gonna say I'm tripping on that.
No, you're not.
But
Coach,
I feel like he needed to gain some confidence. Like, people think like, oh, just because Dak is like an all-pro and, you know, he's an all-star, still, when you suck the whole game, you still like, damn, well, let me get a little bit of confidence.
no.
So, you know, I think it was good he stayed in there. He moved around. He threw some good passes. You know, it was late in the game, and true, like we say, that was garbage time.
So I was
he needed that.
I was torn on it while it was happening, but I talked myself into saying, bro, I see why they're keeping him out here. He needs to get into some type of rhythm. If I go look at what happened in this game, this is literally the offensive drives until the meaningless 2 touchdowns. Downs, punt, downs, punt, pick. Bruh. With no drive went over 5, only one drive, I'm sorry. One drive went more than 5 plays. I repeat, downs, punt, downs, punt, pick. He needed to get some type of goddamn on rhythm just for his self-confidence, right, moving forward for the next week. So I can get the argument, get him out of there, protect him. I also feel what McCarthy said. Now we want to see him in this 4-minute, 2-minute situation to get something going.
Yeah. He hasn't played. He said he's been practicing, but from what I heard, the practices wasn't that good. Even CD said the practices weren't very good. So I mean, I think they just needed some confidence, needed something to feel good about after the game, to just feel like, okay, you know, let me shake it off and I can get back at it. But like I said, man, I ain't worried about nothing. You know, it was one of those real freaky games. But if I still got the same aspirations, I feel just as good as I felt last week today. Sure. Obviously not emotionally because we got whooped on, but as far as the outlook of the season, we straight.
My man. Appreciate you, Mel.
All right, brother.
Yeah, that was I said this. I think that was the worst home game in the Dak Prescott era offensively. I do. The worst game happened to be on the road, Indianapolis in 2018 that Dak talked about. That is sickening. Downs, punt, downs, punt, pick. I mean, that is sickening. No drive sustained over 5 plays, or one drive sustained over 5 plays. Time of possession was less than 20 minutes, 18 minutes time of possession. That's bad, man. That's bad. And it goes beyond just the play, too, of the specific players. Let's kind of get into that real quick. We know Dak was bad. So was the line. You know, the experiment, you know, we went into this talking about this is an opportunity for Terrence Steele to, you know, give us some confidence being on that left tackle side. Nah, bruh, that ain't it. That's not going to be it, right? He talked about afterwards the transition was harder than he thought. If he has, you know, if Tyron is out for the next 2-3 games, it sounds like they're probably going to continue to roll with that. Hopefully he can get some momentum, get some snaps over there, because it's not an easy transition, but he's got to kind of get in the rhythm, I guess. But it looked like 2020 Tyron Smith. As for Lyle Collins on the other side, started off solid, started off good. Got to that fourth quarter, boy, did he get wore down. You can see him get wore down until he started leaning over his toes, putting his weight on people, doing that whole bear hug tackle thing. And Lyle went from having a solid afternoon to tanked. And when both of your tackles are struggling like that, I mean, it's going to affect everything, right? Do I think that happens again? I hope not. I hope not, because look at the defense for the Broncos. That wasn't a Von Miller. Malik Reed was out. Those are backups in there. Getting pressure on Dak Prescott. As for opening up lanes and holes, that was more a numbers game, and that's what McCarthy talked about. They bring a guy 8-9 in the box. They loaded the box, and this is why I didn't put it in my title, but McCarthy talked about being outcoached and outplayed. They were outcoached. Kellen Moore made no adjustments. When McCarthy went in at halftime and said, yeah, we were surprised at how they came out. We were surprised that they loaded. Why are you, surprised that this is not new with a team that can run the ball, number one? Number two, I know gamesmanship happens, but the defensive coordinator literally came out and said, we're going to try to stop the run. Okay, yeah, maybe prepare for that. As for Kellen, this to me, in my opinion, was his worst game of the year. Bar none, easily. It was very, I have it here in the notes. They didn't make any adjustments, nothing to combat the pressure. Bland game plan and play calling. Very bland. We've seen Connor McGovern in just about every game in some type of formation. He played 0 snaps. We've seen the jet sweep or CeeDee Lamb in the backfield or a variation, some good looking design plays, pre-snap, post-snap, and in between the snaps. Saw none of it. It looked like, was JG back there? Scott Linehan running the call, calling the plays. It was very bland. And I hope this is one of those one-offs. I hope this is one of those, all right, I glitched an entire game. Let's get it out the way. Because I don't think Kellen Moore was hot. He was on fire. And then he puts out a turd like that. So hopefully he flushes it and we keep it moving. I don't know if I've been missing some super chats.
Super chat.
But Below the Heaven says 4th and 6, 3 minutes left in the third quarter, and they punt it. To me, that was throwing in the towel. Went for it all game, but not then down 19-0. Well, it was over before that one, man. That was after the punt. When that punt block crap happened, I figured, just not in the cards, man. Just not in the cards. Yeah, no cookout, Adam. No cookout. Jeremy says still switching also hurt the team. Yeah, it was not Steele's day. I'm not going to harp on Steele. I'm not going to crush Steele. I still think most of the tape he has this year is positive tape. Hopefully, because I think Tyron's probably going to be. If Tyron can play, you got to play Tyron. But if Tyron is out next week, they play the Falcons. We can't talk about players in regards to matchups because they didn't have some crazy players on the other side, and they continue to get pressure from that side. So we just need him to step it up. Okay? Gonna need him to step it up. I don't know that he's a left tackle after seeing that, but he struggled at right and then came in this year and played well at right. So maybe he just needs some time over there. And I'm being nice to Steele because I think he's had a good year, and I don't want to harp on that game. I mean, if you do look at the pressures, he had 11 pressures, man. Gave up 3 sacks, and most of it was in the fourth quarter. And that's when Lyle started to wear down too. And it just was not a good day for the offensive line. Zach Martin wasn't all that great either. Just overall, I think Vic Fangio came out. They had a message. They delivered that message. Those boys were flying and playing and hitting hard. And I kept saying on the post game, as a football fan, if I remove my Cowboys stuff, that was some good defensive football. Good defensive football. Got to tip my hat to them boys. Got to. B Bird, what you got for me, OG?
Hey, how you doing this morning, man?
We holding up, man. We holding up.
Hey. So one thing I wanted to say as far as Kellen Moore is concerned, it's not too many adjustments you can make with your quarterback being off. And Dak was off yesterday, so it's just not a whole bunch you can do about that. And he's going to have those days. He hadn't played in 3 weeks, man, so that's a tough one for him.
Yeah.
Hey, so I do have one thing. I looked at the shortcuts on DirecTV Sunday Ticket, and one of the things, and I want you to look at this too because you watch more film than I do. Man, they had a lot of yards after contact on run plays and pass plays, which signify. And
Hey, B Bird, I got a note down here. It says poor tackling.
Man, the tackling was horrendous. If you go back and look at it, but not just that, man. They had a play. I can't remember when it was. Number 33 was they was on him, and then he broke out and ran for 20. Well, Williams ran for 20 more yards.
It was after the block.
Man, we had about 3 guys. I counted them watching the play.
Yeah.
And then we broke out, they decided to go after them. And we didn't play to the whistle at all yesterday.
No, the energy wasn't there. They didn't finish, like you said. The physicality wasn't there. And I sensed it very early. I'm like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Like, there just seems to be the vibe is very bad right now. And I kept saying to everyone that was at the Texas Live, I said, somebody needs to make a play. Somebody needs to do something to energize this team because there's no energy. And the only person that seemed to do that was Micah.
And one thing, too, and could you watch this, too? We had issues. I think me and you talked about this in the offseason and everything with our defensive ends setting the edge. We had defensive ends jumping to the inside of the tackle, and then the running back was, running a sweep. They killed us on the edge. It's because our defensive ends are not setting the edge. They're cheating. And we just can't have that, man. That's part of why our running game kind of sucked. Our running defense kind of sucked to the outside, man. I'm just like, we got to be more disciplined than that. Now, hopefully, one thing you're talking about, too, and I'm going to let you go after this, is that, this burning the tape. I think established teams, really good teams, can burn the tape. Now, we need to look at this. And we need to look and see where we're making these mistakes and what could be done. Of course, the energy was off. Maybe we wasn't up emotionally for this game.
Felt like it.
But even so, some technique-wise things that we got to do better than. And the effort as far as tackling everybody, all 11 guys to the ball, that has to be there because this defense is not established enough to just sit back and, he got it. And then next thing you know, a guy breaks off for 20 yards. And that happened at least 4 or 5 times.
And that's why I feel like yesterday was an anomaly because we haven't seen that. Even in the loss against the Bucks, there was energy there. There was plays being made. People were flying to the ball. The Vikings game was one of the best defensive performances of all year. And that was just last week. So I think it's kind of what you say. Maybe they just weren't up emotionally for this game because I can't explain it any other way. I can't. You guys weren't tackling right. You guys weren't making it. Go ahead.
So naturally, who are you going to be up against? Up for is your division opponents. That's first. Then second is somebody in the conference that affects your seeding. Then third, the AFC, they're at the last of the list. There's still a game, but those are the ones you got to watch out for because it really doesn't, that loss isn't as much of a penalty as a loss to the division, nor a loss to someone in conference. So,
yeah.
And, we just came off a big win, but nobody thought we was going to win. But one of the things I thought that Dallas has always been is we're good chasers, but being in the front, we don't know how to be the one at the top.
But see, B Bird, and we talked about that all year, right? But you went on a 6-game win streak. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 6. So, and they've been at the top of the NFC and the top of the division all year. And I thought they were handling it well, right? Like they were focused. Everything was 1-0. It was tough games. It felt like they wouldn't lose that focus. I just think this is just one of those games, man. But we'll really find out about the team next week, right? How do you respond?
Believe so too, man.
How do you respond?
I really believe so. Now, one thing too is so in 2016 with Dak, the thing was that if you could stop our run, Dak wasn't good enough to beat you in passing. So we just kind of lost in the water. So yesterday, if you really think about it, with Dak being off, that was 2016. And so what they ended up doing is just saying, hey, he's not on today. Hey, let's crowd the box, stop the run, and allow a quarterback that's off to beat us. And make a quarterback that's off to beat us. And that's kind of what it was.
They told us that was going to be the game plan coming in. I kind of scoffed at it because I'm thinking Dak's going to come back and be fine. Because, again, it's such a weird day. After you do what you do last week, on the ground defensively, you figure I have major confidence coming into the next week. And then after Dak missed most of 2020, first game back, opening week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he plays like he plays, I'm like, okay, I feel like he'll be rusty the first 2 possessions, but he did that in week 1, so why couldn't he do it, week 9 after a few possessions? It just never clicked on either side of the ball for them. So that's why it just feels weird to me, man.
And one thing, too, is that in Dak's defense, he never felt comfortable in the pocket because those tackles would get killed all day long, the left and right tackle. Even when they went there, he'd get pressure.
I went back and watched, like I said, the first half. Listen, it wasn't a pretty game by any means. with that said, even with still getting whooped on, there was plenty of opportunities for Dak. He just wasn't delivering. He just wasn't delivering. And by the time it got to the fourth quarter where they can pin their ears back, Lyle wore down and still just got whooped on. And that was a wrap. The fourth quarter, that's when it truly was just awful. And he couldn't get any. He had to move around and scramble the whole entire time. Other than that, still was pretty bad throughout the entire game. But I thought there was still times where Dak just didn't hit, right? If Dak hits CeeDee Lamb, if Dak hits Cedric Wilson, if they convert on those fourth downs, we're having a different conversation here. He was just extremely off. And then on top of that, your offensive line can't do anything. It's going to be a recipe for disaster.
And I think what it was, if it wasn't an offensive line with bad blocking, it was Dak with a bad pass. So it was just kind of one of those things. But one of the things, I'll let you go on this, me and you both know, and I hope Cowboys Nation know that we're going to find out a lot about this team, how they respond against Atlanta. And I'm going to let you go, brother.
All right, man. Yeah, I'm hoping it's one of those – appreciate you, B-Bird. It's one of those situations where we beat whoop on, but we beat the Patriots, and then the next week they went out and took their anger and frustrations out on the Jets and hung 50 on them. That's what the Cowboys need to do. We got we have a loaded line right here. Elgene, what's up, Elgene?
What's good with it, Sky? How you doing, man, this morning?
Hey, it's not a victory Monday, but hey, we're talking through this thing.
Hey, you know what? I like to tell people, man, you know what, man, I'm not a street dude, but I'm from the streets. You know what I'm saying? And I've been in plenty of fights, man. Plenty of fights.
Andre 3000 said it best. I ain't a hood ninja, but a ninja from the hood. My mama stayed on me, so I turned out pretty good.
Good, man. But you know what I'm saying? I get it, man.
Yeah.
And you could definitely tell the Cowboy fans who just ain't been in many fights. You know what I'm saying? If you've been in a lot of fights, you know you finna take one on the chin. You gonna take one on the nose. You might even fold. You know what I'm saying?
It's about how you get back up.
It's just not it. It just wasn't your day that day. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you live to see another day. And it's not how you got beat, is what you do after you got beat. Are you gonna get better?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna fight back? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, the bully comes in and he knocks you down. But what I liked about that game, and I didn't understand it either.
What did you like, LG? Because it wasn't much.
Why was Dak still in that game?
Oh, you said you didn't like.
Still in the game. Why? What I did like.
Oh,
I didn't understand it. I was thinking in my head like, man, get him out of there.
I was too.
You don't want him to get hurt.
I was too.
But then I started thinking about it, man, and I'm just like, you know what? They still fighting. You know what I'm saying? They still fighting. This game, you could say it was over. It was probably over after the second quarter, a little bit late in the second quarter, man. It just you could tell they didn't have it. It wasn't there. Dak was off. He was missing throws he normally makes in his sleep. You could just tell everything snowballed on him. And they could have just threw in the towel and said, you know what? We scored this 7 points. We didn't get blanked. That's it. But no, he kept them in there, and they kept fighting, man. And to me, I think that tells a lot about who Dak is and and what this team is made of, man. And I think that'll go a long way next week, is that this team still fights. They don't give up. But, man, it's just some of them days you just don't have it, man. And you can tell they didn't have it, man. They did not have it. And they were just out physical. They were out physical.
Out physical, out coached. And they probably ate the cheese a little bit.
And you know what? And I was watching, I'm following a lot of guys on Twitter who actually went to the game. The fans took an L. The Cowboys fans took an L. They said the Denver fans were louder than the Cowboy fans. So you know what? Everybody took that L yesterday.
You missed the top of the show. I was talking about the Denver fans. I was extremely shocked how many of them came out. I didn't know Denver traveled like that. And then again, it could be, it's Dallas, we're a destination. But it was more. It was way more Denver fans than Cowboys fans, and I thought it was just at Texas Live, but then I saw pictures over at AT&T, and it was a sea of orange.
Yep, and so we took an L everywhere, but I know Steele played a bad game, but if you remember back when Tyron made that change from left tackle to
from right to
tackle
left tackle, yeah.
It was not smooth.
Right. That's why I'm like, I'm not
correctly.
going to get on him too much about it's a tough transition. This isn't a first round all world talent. He's an undrafted free agent, still getting his, getting things under his belt. Yeah, so it didn't work. Hopefully next week it's better, but if it's bad again, then hey man, that experiment might just be just that, an experiment.
Man, I just pray he's mentally tough and
Seems like it.
Can wipe this out of his memory, because you got to have a short memory as a left tackle. Something kind of like cornerback. You're gonna get beat. Even Tyron got beat this year. Man. Everyone gets beat. It's how you how you. I think Brian Brody said you grade.
I say it all the time. Yeah.
Not two.
Right.
So he had a bad outing. But I want to see what he does. I give him a chance. I really want to give him a chance. Not at the expense of Dak. So they're gonna have to either what the game plan was for him on the right side. They might have to switch it over to the left. Motion that way, help him, chip, just do different things.
Also,
man,
not at the expense of Tyron, right? Like if Tyron says, "Hey, I can go," you go. You gotta go.
Right, and I was telling Boss this yesterday too, man. I think the Cowboys need to stop being a little bit cautious on these players, man. If these players are ready and they look good in practice, why are you holding them out? As you can see, Lyle Collins needed game reps, man. He
does.
gassed out, like you said.
Boy,
he needed game reps.
Bro, Lyle got to stop with that. Lyle get tired, he start bear hugging motherfuckers, man.
So, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm looking at it like, if Gallipore's ready, get him on the field. Get him on the field.
I think he will.
Now.
I think that time frame is up. I think they had 3 weeks to activate him, and if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I think this was the last week they could not have him up from IR, so he should be back. Does Gallup help you in that game? I don't know, man. It just seemed like everything was going wrong.
Yeah, you're right, but I look at it like this too. Okay, now you got an extra week with Gallup getting game reps. Now
okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
In the Falcons game, now he doesn't have to. You ease him in the Falcons game. He's got game reps, game speed. He can test the calf out. Okay, I can plan on this thing now.
Yeah,
I can go. I just feel like Dallas is being a little bit. I'm not in that training room. I'm not no doctor, but I did stay in a Holiday Inn. No, let me stop. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I look at it like, okay, if these guys are looking good in practice, why are you holding them out? Why?
Here's the thing.
Let these guys play.
They've been pressing all the right buttons, so it was hard for me to argue about any move that they made going into that game, whoever they rested, whoever they played, et cetera, because it's been working. This is the first time that it's not worked, and we'll see what happens this week. Hey, dog, I appreciate you, man.
You're right. 10-4. Hey, man, I appreciate you, Scott. Hey, it's going to get better, man.
Yeah.
We took one on the chin.
Hey,
we got to get up and keep going. All right, man, you take care, man. Love y'all boys, man. Y'all be easy. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. Yeah, he said he hopes Steele has thick skin or something like that. I think he does. I mean, he went through what he went through last year. Came out this year and played way better. So I think Steele professionally will be fine. But next week's going to be interesting. It happens to be against the Falcons, right? Like we don't want, what happened with the Falcons a few years ago, but I think he's a better player than Chaz Green. I think he just needs some reps. He hadn't had those reps since, training camp, preseason. And we talked about the left side wasn't his best side in preseason. But they decided to go with him because he was the technical swing tackle. Give you one more game, but I don't know if he's going to be swing if he does that again. And then in Lyell's got to get it together too. That was a very mid game from Lyell and then turned into a bad game. So Lyell's got to get his feet up under him. And then the interior. Now, Biotish from the second look, very quick second look. I didn't get no all 22. It was all that bad. Again, I think that it was the way Vic Fangio loaded the box and Justin Simmons brought him up in pregame. And who's number 30? Whoever number 30 is too. I thought they had timely blitzes, and I felt like they were a rover type. Like they decided to come and not to come, and it helped a lot in that run game. So just overall, not a great performance up front. All right, man, we got lots in here. Jumper Cam, what's up, Jumper Cam?
Hey, what's up, young Jedi? How's it going, man?
Hey, it's good, man. It's good. As good as it can be after an embarrassing loss like that.
Yeah, it was rough, for sure. I knew when we started watching the game, I was like, man, we are not coming out with the right energy. But I expected them to make adjustments and bounce back. Didn't happen this game. You know, I just feel like Cowboys kind of just lost their mental toughness this game, is the way I look at this. They just couldn't get their minds right to overcome all the problems. And, I mean, especially after that block punt, you know, you just kind of saw the whole energy kind of just leave the team because they're like, we did something great. Everybody was up, and then the rest. Like, some dumb rule, dude. Like just some weird, fluky, dumb rule, whatever. But that's not to say that this is not a mentally tough team.
Sure.
All right, we've had adversity. We had it in Tampa Bay. We had it versus the Chargers. We had it versus the Patriots. Had it versus the Vikings. These are all good coached, well-coached teams, and we came in and we handled our business. I mean, Tampa Bay we lost, but I still say we handled our business in that game. It just is what it is. Missed a few field goals. You know, we're not, and it's not a team that we can't come from behind because that's BS. I don't want to hear any of that. And another thing is like we're not in a place to start questioning this coaching staff. Okay, we lost this one game after 6 straight wins. We are not in a question to start, well, they should have done this and they shouldn't have. No.
Question, no.
Let them do their thing.
But they got to get a part of this family meeting too, right? They got to get some of this. You got to get some of this.
Sure.
There wasn't a great. He even said it. We got out coached, and it was clear as day to see the adjustments. Like, and I know B. Bird said it's hard to make an adjustment when your quarterback is off. But I just didn't see an attempt. I mean, I could be wrong, but I didn't see an attempt to make an adjustment. And when your coach comes out and says I got out coached, and you kind of can see that, I got to roll with it. But yeah, I won't question them moving forward, but they got to get some of this too.
No, absolutely, right? They're responsible for this. Is a whole team loss. Let's be real clear. This is a whole team loss. Everybody on that roster, everybody in that coaching staff. This is a whole team loss. We look like crap. I mean, it is what it is. But that to say that, now we got to go back and question everything else that they've done. I'm not, the offensive line moves and stuff like that. Look, they've got reasons for doing what they did. They're not real clear about it, and I'm okay with that because they're not showing their hands. I like what Mike's been doing this year. They're trying to make sure we're going to last the entire season. We're trying to last. We're trying to get to the Super Bowl and win that Super Bowl. So when you have guys out and you have, you've got different situations, you're just trying to put the best thing on field. It didn't happen this week. It just did. It was real weird. I mean, Dak being off is real weird. We're not used to seeing that. I don't think I've ever seen a game like that where Dak played that bad. But I believe in my quarterback. I believe in Ford. He's one of the hardest working dudes. He's one of the hardest working QBs out there in the league. And I have full faith in this team. We're going to come out and we're going to whoop the dog shit out of the Falcons because that's a team we should whoop the dog shit out of. And we're going to do that because we can do that. And then we're going to respond and come back and we're going to keep going on with this thing. This ain't over. It's a bad loss. It was a terrible game. But, it happens. It's the NFL.
Yeah.
But the good thing is this doesn't hurt us. This really doesn't hurt us.
Nothing changed.
If you were going to lose a game, this is it. If you were going to lose a game, though, this is the one to lose, honestly.
Absolutely.
It's AFC Conference. We're not going to see the Broncos, We're not going to see the Broncos in the Super Bowl. Like, I'm already going to go ahead and make that statement. So, this doesn't have any effect on our standings, really. We got a bunch of other teams that lost. Unfortunately, the Cardinals didn't lose, but
but they lost last week, so it didn't change anything because they lost last week. So, yeah, next week is going to tell more about this team, in my opinion, than this game did.
Yes, agreed, man. That's all I got, man. I'll let you go. Great show as always, man. And appreciate all you do.
Thanks, brother. I am trying to get to everybody, trying to here, because usually Mondays are for y'all anyway to come in here, but today is a big venting day. Reek, what's up, Reek?
Yeah, what up, Sky? What's good, Cowboy Nation? How everybody doing today?
Everybody seems to be in a decent mood. It's not a great mood because we lost, but nobody is really overboard, and I appreciate that.
I look at it like this, man. You win some, you lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day. Come on, Cowboy fans. Come on, you. Some of you fake fans out here. Like, if you ain't going down with the ship,
let me tell you about that
you know
real quick.
what I'm saying?
1 second, and I'll let you get back to your situation.
Okay.
I haven't seen certain fans up in the comment sections and things like that for weeks. For 6-7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The minute, and I'm talking Cowboy fans because there's some weirdos out there too, and I don't mean no disrespect, but y'all weird. It's your team, and when they do something good, you're gone. When they do something bad or a certain player plays bad, a certain guy who wears a single digit and happens to get the ball every single play plays bad, you pop up. All of a sudden and calling for Cooper Rush and saying he sucks and all this other stuff. I find that so weird, man. You're a weird fan if you're that type of guy who literally gets off more on your quarterback failing than the team winning. And I digress. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, my thing is like them fickle fans. We don't need y'all. You like a Skip Bayless. You a Skip Bayless to us. Don't be on the ship when it's going good. Be on the ship when it's going good and when it's going down. Because if you're not around when it's going down, what we need you around for? You ain't got no paddle.
Man,
to
as
help.
Bean said, get down or lay down. That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because my whole thing is like this, man. This is a long season.
Oh, Adrian, they called for him. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying. And my thing is, come on, man. We still got players that's coming back. You know what I'm saying? Dak just came back. Dak had a bad game. The whole team had a bad game. We did something. We moving pieces around. We adjusting. We doing different things out here. At least we doing that. In the past years, we was always used to that bland coaching. At least we can. The team. We lost as a team. We went in there and lost as a team. The team pissed off. That's a good sign. Sometimes you need to get punched in the face to understand what you're about to do next. A good behind kicking will make you sit down and think about some things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And make you react to adversity a whole different other way. We know we a good team. The real fans know we a good team. And my whole thing is like this. It is what it is. We lost. Let's move on. Put it behind us. There's a lot of other teams out there that lost too. That's good teams. I don't hear none of their fan bases crying and whining. Why are we doing that?
They probably,
come on, man.
I don't know what they doing, but so far.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though.
But so far, the overwhelming temperature I'm getting from, at least from my chat box right here, right, and from everyone calling in, is not the crazies. But I think it was right after the game, and I think halftime, and I don't know about today. I haven't been in there the whole time. There's some of those crazies, and I try not to give them too much attention. But when I see you pop in and start talking about Dak sucks or Dak this and Cooper Rush that, and yes, Adrian, people were calling for Cooper Rush at halftime. I got to call you out because that's whack. That's corny. That's weird. You weren't even here for 6-7 weeks. Then all of a sudden you pop up when there's a bad game. That's whack, dog.
Yeah, and this is Dak Prescott's team. How far this team goes is on his shoulder. So don't mess with my quarterback. You leave my quarterback alone. You leave my coach alone. My coaches alone.
It's okay to criticize him this today. He had a bad game, but I'm just saying keep that same energy. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Keep that same energy when you see us in the winter circle. Because we remember all y'all. It's PBO around here. I got to give Ms. Jets some props on that. It's PBO around here. And then you got cornball people. Y'all ain't down with this, man. Get off the ship. Your stop is requested. Get up out of here, man. All right, that's all I got to say, though, man. All right, we still them boys. I don't give a damn. Boys. All right, peace.
Jacob, what you got for us, Jacob? I got to lock these things
up. The conference has been locked.
I'm never going to – this be a show. We'll be here till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What's up, Jacob?
Hey, man. I just want to, first of all, I want to apologize to you because I was supposed to go visit you and my pops at Texas Live, and I was so pissed off, and I did not make it there. I just wanted to get the hell out of there.
I ain't mad. Hey, dog, I ain't mad at you, man. Post game was not a vibe. It was a vibe for the Broncos fans, but post game was just, it sucked.
Yeah, that was this one Broncos fan. Like, it was weird. He followed me literally, like he was sitting behind me. He followed me the whole way out to my car, and the whole time he was like, y'all should have put Cooper Rush. Y'all should have put Cooper Rush. I was like, man, at one point I turned around, I was like, man, you know what? Dak played his game. It is what it is, and, you know, just let it be, you know, and it's like, it was just pissing me off, and I didn't want to start nothing, you know. I'm one of those fans that just want to kick back and chill, you know, enjoy the game, but, hey, man, that Broncos live was crazy. Like, they were there, you know. They made their presence felt,
Yeah,
too.
you was at the game, Jacob. What did it feel like an away game during that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like a couple callers said ago, it's like, you know, it's weird how we're usually taking over the away, the opponent's stadium, and it's like we were, as a fan, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to admit it to Cowboys Nation, I'm sorry, I was one of the ones that was, you know, I wasn't cheering as loud as I usually do, and I was, you know, pretty upset at the way they were playing, and I was just, I don't know if it was, you know, I don't know, it wasn't myself either, you know, the Cowboys were off, I was off as a fan, and I'm just, yeah, it wasn't a good game for us, man.
Well, maybe I've seen people talk about it in the chat, and I've been saying this for years. The ticket prices are ridiculous, number one, so you're not going to get some of your, you know, everyday diehard blue-collar fans in there because it costs so much. And then you get the season ticket holders who sell their tickets to these opposing teams. And then this is what happens.
Yeah.
You know, it's just such a hit and miss at AT&T Stadium. I thought we were kind of getting over that because we're having a good season, and every home game this year it's been packed with Cowboys fans, and they've been crazy. I think McCarthy talked about it, and then all of a sudden, maybe what happened was season ticket holders was like, it's Denver. We're going to beat Denver. I don't need to be there for Denver. Who cares about Denver? I don't want to see Teddy Bridgewater. Sold their tickets, and that's what happens.
Hey, man, Teddy Bridgewater and those fans and all, they're going to be watching us play some football in February. You know, that's all I got to say.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Jacob.
All right, man. Take it easy, Sky.
You too, man.
Good.
Mr. Oldhead, what you got for us, brother?
Hey, bro. I tried to call you Friday, let you know that everything went cool with the surgery and stuff.
That's great.
And
that's the best news today.
Well, no, it's not. There is some more news, but I wanted to tell you that. I did try to call. I think you may have seen me on the call waiting, but just as I was getting close to talking to you, this doctor's office has a traveling nurse thing that goes by and checks on people, you know, after surgery. Sure. And she showed up and I had to hang up because I had to, you know, obviously be polite to her and not be listening to you while she was checking the stitches. Anyway, who was it a couple of weeks ago that climbed all over me about being so negative on a positive Monday? Now, I realize this is not your normal day to be positive on a Monday, but first of all, let me say hello to my buddy, mi hermano Lunatic, for calling it like it is and speaking la verdad, you know, the truth. We got a good old-fashioned country ass whooping yesterday.
Yeah.
And the thing to do is to figure out how to make the best of it. And there are a lot of positives. First of all, back in high school, and here I go talking about history, but back in high school, when you mess around and you fool around and you don't get serious, my coach called it jilly-jacking around. I don't know if you remember that term or if you were even born back when they used it.
My coaches ain't talk like that.
But
so.
I'm sorry to talk trash about our coaching staff, but to me,
get it out.
What they did with our offensive line all week, and people are not going to agree with me, and I appreciate it, but you've always given me the right to speak out. They jelly-jacked with our offensive line all week long. Instead of taking one player and plugging him in where he was needed, letting Lyle plug in for Tyron and leaving everybody else the hell alone, and letting Steele continue to develop at that right tackle slot because he has earned the right to be treated fairly on that right side. And then what do? Well, Lyle's coming back from something that could have wound up in jail, in my opinion, but I'm not going to go as deeply as I could there because let's not do that. I know, but he got what he deserved as far as the suspension. It could have been 2 games, and he decided to be stupid in a no stupid zone and wound up with 5. But anyway, you know, they don't put you on that kind of a drug protocol thing for talking bad to your mama or chewing gum in church.
Sure.
Okay? You know, so they could have plugged him in for Tyron, or they could have put Ty in there.
Okay, that's where anyway. I want to talk to y'all guys about here, because again, we just sat there and heard Terrence Steele talk about how challenging it was to go from right tackle to left tackle. And this is a guy who's played 7 games this year plus 16 last year, 23 games in the last 2 seasons. A guy who's practiced at left tackle in camp, a guy who's played at left tackle in preseason, and he talked about the struggles of adapting to left tackle. So,
and
I think moving, and this was a conversation we had, but we were ignoring until it came out that Lyle was going to play right. We were like, well, just keep Steele at right tackle and put Lyle over there. I'm starting to think, I don't know if that would have been the move, because Lyle hadn't practiced or played at left tackle since 2014. Well,
they set him up to fail.
And he only got 3 practices to do it, right? So if you're really trying to keep Steele at right tackle, you're essentially saying bench Lyle and put Ty Nsekhe. It was hard to roll with Ty Nsekhe after seeing what you saw last week, correct?
Well, they could have played him at left guard and given Connor a break. I don't know if he got any
I'm talking about Ty Nsekhe, brother. I said it was hard to play Ty Nsekhe after seeing how he played last week. I didn't fathom still playing that bad. I didn't think it was going to be clean, but I didn't think he was going to play that bad. So now it does call into question, what do you do moving forward?
But Lyle has experience on the left side. True enough, it's guard,
7 years ago.
But
7 years ago. So here's what I'm getting at. Here's what I'm getting at. Oh, here's what I'm getting at. Oh, hits. Calm down. Here's what I'm getting at. Is that I understand what they did. Because if you listen to them talk about it,
I got pain meds going, man.
It's cool. When I listen to them talk about it, they talk about the reps and things like that. So I understand it. It didn't work out.
I just wanted to point out one more thing, and I'll let you go. But it is a positive Monday, and I'll point out 2 things. First of all, 1971, and here I am going back in my. That's one of the reasons you keep me around, is because I do have memories of history of stuff back then.
Go ahead with 1971. What that got to do with today? Go ahead.
The St. Louis Cardinals came in here on Monday Night Football, back when Monday Night Football still meant something, and they put a butt whooping on the Cowboys. It was like 35-0. I mean, they slaughtered the 71 Cowboys, and there was nobody out, there was nobody sick, there was nobody, there was no excuse except they kicked our butts. And then at the end of the 71 season, what happened? I believe we had another Lombardi coming our way with Super Bowl 12, because they got it together and beat who? Denver Broncos. Okay. Then let's fast forward to 92 or 93, I forget which late in the season, we're on a roll. We hadn't lost a game since the first 2 when Emmett was fighting for a contract. They went to Atlanta, not to bring up anything negative for next week, but they went to Atlanta and got their butt kicked. And Jimmy Johnson actually was glad it happened, if you want to know the truth, because that gave him something that his doctorate in psychology or whatever it is gave him something to chew on him about. And they went ahead and tore Buffalo a new one in whichever Super Bowl that season led into. So something going on like this can be, if you don't know what's broke, you can't fix it. And obviously some things showed up yesterday. We've been bragging all year long about our depth, how great our depth is. Well, guess what? Denver has got some incredible depth. And they showed it yesterday, and people saying they were going to lay down and die because Von Miller got traded. Well, the Broncos got PO'd and said, we're going to go in there and show folks we're not going to do that. And there's a lot of folks that came down from Colorado and shared, forgive me for saying something like this, but they shared some of their edibles with the Dallas crowd, and all of a sudden the Dallas crowd became Bronco fans, I think, because everybody was loaded and screaming for the Broncos. But, ever since Danny Reeves went to Denver, Tony Dorsett finished his career in Denver, a lot of fans down here. So that doesn't bother me. But I'm saying let's go to it, man.
All right, old head. I gotta get you. We talking in circles here, but I appreciate the stories though, man. I do.
Well, you have a good one, bud. We'll
You too,
talk
good
to you
brother.
later.
Yes, sir. I do appreciate some of the stuff. B Bird calls in a lot about the 90s. Old head calls in about the 70s. This is exactly why, as a almost gave away my age here. As a fan of my age, we need to win the goddamn on Super Bowl. Because I'm sick and tired and hearing about, well, 1972 and in 1990 and things like that. That ain't got shit to do with today. I'm sorry. This ain't nothing to do with you, old head. This is just collectively speaking here. We need to do something in this goddamn on generation. So when we get old, we can say, remember in 2021 when the Cowboys lost to the Broncos and then they won on a 17-game win streak, winning the Super Bowl into next year? We need that. Because I'm jealous of y'all old heads. Y'all get to revert back to the 70s when they was great in the 92 and they won this and things like that. I'm tired of hearing that. I digress. Love you, old head. Love you, B-Bird. But I need to, when I become an old head, I need to have those stories. You feel me? You feel me? Because haters, this is why haters be like, y'all live in the 90s. We ain't got no choice. 940, save me before I get kicked off of here. What's up? 940 going once.
Hello?
Yes, what's up, 940?
Hey, brother. How's
What's up,
everything
man?
going?
It's good. It's
Hey,
been quite an evening.
yeah, a little bit,
day.
little bit disappointing yesterday watching the game. But I mean, I think it's kind of been echoed today. We needed that butt kicking.
Yeah.
I think it helps us get the mind right, because I think a large part of the loss yesterday can be contributed to the team emotionally having to get up last week in the absence of Dak. And then, Dak's back. Next thing you know, the team's like our leader's back. So we can just kind of coast through this game and, get it taken care of. But didn't happen. So, a little bit disappointed, man. But, it helps you get your mind right, because you don't want to be coasting through the season and thinking you can just turn it on. You want to have that hunger. You want to be hungry every game.
There's different type of losses, right? Right? Like the first week, that was a loss where I said I'll give them one moral victory because the way they played and the circumstances given. This isn't a moral victory type of loss. This is one of those type of losses where you say, I just got my ass beat. We just got our ass whooped. Right. Now, how do we respond from it? And I said it earlier in the show, brother, and I'll say it again. I think next week is going to tell more about this team than this game did just because of how the game went. It wasn't characteristic of the Cowboys.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. You're right. And, like I said, it's psychologically speaking, man, it's a good thing. Yeah. Because you don't want a team going through the season thinking they can just turn it on whenever they feel like they need to. You want them hungry. You want them knowing that, hey, we could get beat any Sunday. You want them grinding every week. You want them, on that edge. You want them to have that edge. You don't want them complacent. And I think sometimes if you stay on that, that win streak and you start getting a little complacent, because you're used to winning. So you need a loss like this to kind of ground you back and get back to basics.
Yeah, it felt like, if I'm reading between the lines, Dak Prescott said something, coach kind of was leaning that way. Lamb pretty much said it about the practices. It felt like they might have been eating the cheese a little bit, man. Hey, dog, I appreciate you calling in and getting it out there.
Take care. Yes, sir.
Yep. Gotta get through these things, man. We got a ton. I don't even know if I'm able to get through them all. 281, what's up? Then I got you, James.
Good morning, Skywalker.
Good morning, good brother.
Guess what? This is Terrence the Doc Williams on a beautiful morning this morning.
This is exactly what I needed a doc to come in here with that smooth radio voice and calm me down. What's up, Doc?
Let me tell you something. I totally understand you, Skywalker. We are talking in the past. We actually got our butts handed to us on yesterday. But I would say this is sports. You're not going to win every last one of them. That only happens once. I just want to thank you for the opportunity to speak in this morning because I think we're going to be just fine. Everybody just calm down. It's going to be fine. And I was hoping for you to play my song because this is when it needs to play.
Will we steal them boys?
So I'll wait. Go ahead, say it again.
You said you wanted to play the song, We Still Them Boys, that song?
You doggone right. This is the time to play that song because we are still them boys. And I will see you this weekend. Lord says the same. And we're going to have this conversation all over again. And I just wanted to be a shining light this morning because you're going to lose. That's a part of the game. That's a part of it. We learn from our loss. That is the thing I wanted to hear people talk about.
Facts. Appreciate you, Doc.
No doubt. You have a blessed day.
You too. Yeah, I think it seems like Cowboys Nation is all on the same page. Seems like we're all on the same page. But I play it. But they definitely calling it. They definitely checking. But I'm going to play it anyway.
Ain't nobody calling me, texting
It
me,
is.
paging me, asking me, are you still involved? Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still involved?
Even though we got whooped.
Listen.
We
I'm
still them boys.
Woo, hey!
You do need to hear that sometimes, right? You do need to hear that sometimes. Even as this is human stuff, right? Yeah, you played bad, but y'all still good. Now learn from it. Learn from it and move on. James, what's up, brother? 469. What's going on?
I didn't know you was that famous, guy.
What?
You bring in national radio talent out of retirement to talk about them boys. You done brought Root 107.5.
Right. Doc got that voice.
Quiet storm.
The smooth jazz. Ladies. Yeah, I for sure believe he is in radio, fam.
Man, hey, that's all right. Hey, Cowboys, hey, the fans, y'all listen to me. I know we don't want to lose. Who go into a game saying, you know what? I'll take a L today. Ain't no fight to get in the ring. You know what? I'll get my ass beat today. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. You know what I'm saying? Nobody doing that. My bad. I said ass robber. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I done said it about 5 times today. You good.
You know what I'm saying? This is what a loss does for us. You know, the previous caller, you know what I'm saying, our long-winded friend, you know what I'm talking about, losses show us what things are really broken, what things need to be revisited, revamped, and honestly, losses that help us get in each other's face and hold each other accountable, you know what I'm saying? And I hope that's what was going on. I hope they ain't in there playing basketball, you know what I'm talking about. I hope they in there getting in each other's face. I hope a fight broke out. I hope somebody went up to Mari Cooper and uppercutted him in that right hamstring and said, catch the ball. You know what I'm saying? I hope somebody went to CeeDee Lamb and hit him in his ass and say, tuck your shirt in and catch the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hope somebody went to Dak and threw a tennis ball at his ankle and say, you better throw the ball better next time. You know what I'm saying? I hope they went to all the defensive linemen. They in line to eat after the post-game meal and spun dude they whole plate and say, you better get off your block next time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't eating tonight. That's what needs to happen.
I think Dak Prescott is doing that behind the scenes. If you listen to his interview, he pretty much called out everybody, including himself, without calling out specific names. And one thing that I've learned through Hard Knocks is that Dak Prescott on the podium ain't Dak Prescott on the practice field. like we know them as two different Daks. So as Stevie Mack said, I feel bad for Atlanta because they're going to get a pissed off team next week. And guess who's going to be leading that charge? Dak Prescott. And when you have your he said our leaders need to come out of this game expecting more and wanting to do more and have a better week of practice. So expect to see Randy Gregory, expect to see Dak Prescott, expect to see, Zeke and Coop and all these guys refocus, get on people, get on each other like you said. And I truly do. It's early, it's only Monday, but I definitely expect them to come out and play way better than they showed yesterday.
Hey, that's the Cowboys team you want to see. Because when you get a loss like this, it shake things up. Then you can start having those nuanced conversations. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Hey, they schemed against us. Hey, when we did this in practice and this didn't show well, we can't just brush that off. Hey, those extra reps that so-and-so needs, we got to get those in. You see, like, that's the type of stuff, you know what I'm saying, that comes with these losses. The last thing I'm going to say, we got to get through these phone calls is next Sunday, okay, at 12 o'clock, if you are in DFW and you ain't got church, you know what I'm saying, head out to Texas Live so that we can flood that place with all the Dallas Cowboy rage and energy that we got built up right now, and make sure you stop at A to Z Sports with my boy Skywalk Skill and my boy Jesse Holly. Hey, Jesse Holly swole in real life. I never want to fight that dude. But anyway, and my wife got a crush on him. But that's okay. You know what I'm saying? He ain't taking my woman, just like Cowboys ain't getting their lunch taken by the Falcons tomorrow. And if there's any Cowboys coverage you need, you know where the place to be. A to Z with my boy Skywalk Skill, baby. Love you. We going to keep doing this. Cowboys Nation, we still them boys.
My God, appreciate you, James. He said, my wife got a girl. Yeah, Jesse definitely bigger in person. I think I said that before when we took those pictures. He legitimately 6'3", 200-something pounds rocked up. Yes. Man, I love James' energy when he called up in here, man. I do. But yeah, if y'all are down there, please, I mean, not just Texas Live, please be in AT&T Stadium live, like loud and present. If I see a bunch of black jerseys next week, man, I'm be disappointed. Definitely after what happened this week, I'm be disappointed. I ain't gonna lie to you. Stu, what's up, D2 Stu?
About time, Sky.
My bad, brother.
So far, how you doing today? Well, that's a stupid question. I've been listening the whole morning. Lots of good calls, and I've been sitting here wondering what to talk about. So I want to start here.
Say what's on your heart, man.
I'm going to get to it, and I'm going to start right here. I'm blessed to be friends with Mark Holmes. I got to know him pretty good over the last year. His wife Tracy, him and his wife Tracy sent me a shirt that's hanging in my hospital room. It says, "If God gives us what He thinks we can handle, He must think I'm a badass." I love those people, and Tracy's always pointing out. Mark will tell you, own your shit. So I want to start there. All season, I've been one game at a time, 1 week at a time. But when my pops calls me before the game yesterday, asked me what I know about the Denver Broncos, I said, "Don't worry about it, Dad. They ain't nothing. They're demoralized. They traded Von Miller. It's Teddy B, the game manager. I'm up in Mark Holmes' chat.
We ate the cheese.
Telling everybody relax." What's that?
We ate the cheese.
Yeah, I ate that damn cheese. So I ate my humble pie last night. You know what I did, Sky? I got a good night's sleep in the hospital for the first time since October 18th. Sometimes you got to get popped in the mouth to realize you ain't the best man on the planet, and you can get knocked down. So now they got to get back up. Dak was a little bit rusty. I've been talking about all that. I'll leave all that alone. We're going to be fine. I want to touch on two things, guys.
All right, let me get the two things. Yep.
Our fan base. Our fan base is funny, Sky. We got half the fans that are actually legitimate fans that are here no matter how good or bad we do. And then you got your casual, fair weather weekend warriors causing most of the country to hate Cowboys fans. Last week, we were on a Super Bowl run. This week, we got Chicken Littles out there with the sky falling. Don't do that. If that's you, go somewhere else. We don't need you. Put that behind us.
What's number two?
Friday. Friday, Feel Good Friday. What were we talking about on Feel Good Friday, Sky?
Remind
We're
me.
talking about Terrence Steele
Oh,
and Lyle Collins. How many people out here right now trying to push Terrence Steele off a bridge, a man that earned his spot on the right side, that got thrust to the left side, a completely different position? How many of y'all were out there pumping your keyboards on Friday, mad that Collins was taking his spot? Now you want Steele gone. We don't need that. This is Dak's team. We've trusted the coaches. You keep trusting these coaches. We've still got something special here.
Sure.
I'd rather get popped in the mouth now than popped in the mouth in round 1 of the playoffs. We've got that. These professional men that fight for each other every week have that bitter taste in their mouth. They don't want it again.
Facts. Hey, man, that's the truth, brother. That's the truth. Appreciate you, D2.
So we start a new winning streak this week. Y'all have a good one.
You too, man. All right, man. Let's get 484 and 575. What's up, 484? 484 going once. 484 going twice.
Hello.
Yep. What's up, man? How you doing? You are live.
Oh, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good. We talking it through here, so I'm not too upset about this game. So.
Okay. I got a couple quick questions.
Sure.
Can you guys, as far as Vach and all you guys, get together with the Cowboy crew as far as Nate Newton and Jesse Holly and all that? I mean, you and Jesse Holly are already together, but you guys get everybody together at the Cowboy Experience to go ahead and pump us up even more?
I'll talk to Barry because Barry runs the Cowboys Experience and see if he can get Nate, because he gets a lot of the older Cowboy players, former Cowboy players, but I haven't seen Nate Newton yet. I did go to the Cowboys Experience a few weeks ago, but yeah, I can talk to Barry, see if he can get Nate.
Well, see, we still need that young blood in there too, because I mean, everybody's talking about the team, as far as the losing stuff. I mean, even though we've been winning, but this little bit of loss was, it is what it is as far as football. But as far as getting you guys together to promote our fan base to go ahead and keep it together. Y'all keeping it together.
Yeah, I'll wrap.
And that's what
we do. We do a lot of work together, but we'll see. We'll see about that because we all live in different places, so that's a little bit difficult to get everybody in one area.
Okay. I mean, but
that's good. What's your other question? Go ahead, brother. What's your other question?
Long-time Cowboy fan. Everybody getting scared, and bro, I'm putting it to you like this: if we ride and die together. If we ain't riding and dying, what are we representing? I mean, and I know you're from Pennsylvania because guess what? I'm from Coatesville, Pennsylvania.
Oh, I got
and I know
family
where
from Coatesville. Yeah. I got family that live in Coatesville. Yeah, I know what Coatesville is. Shout out to what's the cat from the Pistons? Wear the mask. He from Coatesville.
You're talking about my cousin.
Dang, I cannot remember his name.
Played for the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah. Got the ring in there. I know I'm having a brain fart, man. But somebody in the chat can tell me.
I am too. Shoot, tag on it. My sister could tell me better.
He played with Sheed. He played with Billups, Prince. I'm naming everybody. Ben Wallace, and I'm just forgetting his damn name.
Yes.
It'll pop up.
Bryant.
Hamilton. Rip Hamilton. Thank you.
Rip Hamilton.
Rip from
And guess what? Kobe Bryant's my cousin too.
And then Kobe's from around that area, Philly area, yeah.
Bro, guess what? Oh, wow. Y'all some of the coolest people that I'm connected with all y'all as far as on YouTube. That's what I do. I do the YouTube thing. I don't do the
mute the mainstream.
Facebook and
the mainstream
and everything. But I'm on YouTube is my thing. I watch you guys faithfully. On top of Cowboys, husband and wife.
Kelly. I think his name is Kelly, or I can't remember their name. But hey, listen, brother. I appreciate the support. I do. Keep on rocking. Keep calling in if you can. Keep on supporting. And I'll reach out to Barry and see if we can get Nate down there. I know Nate's a little difficult, according to. I say difficult. I shouldn't say difficult. That's tough. Nate's tough to book, I should say, according to Jesse. But man, he would be a hell of a book. He's a good people's man. But I appreciate the call, brother.
Y'all can get all of them. Get them.
You're gonna try, man. You're gonna try. You have a good day, bro.
Thank you very much. God bless. Love you.
Thank you, sir. 575. What you got for us?
Hey, young Skywalker, long-time fan, first-time caller, and I have family in Johnstown, PA.
There you go. More PA folks in the building. Yeah, I know Johnstown.
Well, I'm in Mexico, but I got family in J-Town. But also, I wanted to say, man, I'm really glad to hear about our Cowboys fan having positive surgery on Friday, man.
Yeah.
You know, nothing but positive vibes there for him. Also, a few quick points, and I'll take your response off the air, but I wanted to say, man, I cannot wait for Tank, Neville Gallimore, and Gallup. But, God, I can't wait for Tank. Oh, Lord, please get Tank back. You know, I'll take him next week part-time. You know, one snap per series per quarter, you know, something, man. But we need Tank. And then you know, a few quick points. Did Bossman Fat have any other plays besides that special teams play? Because in my notes, man, I only had two things: fast ball skills, awareness. I mean, God, I'm sorry, I know he ain't played much, but he showed me, if not in one play, he needs 7 plays more. You know, I'm something. Trayvon, stop playing for interceptions. We need you to be a cornerback. Don't be so cocky. Take the 3 points in the first quarter, the first half. Build some confidence. Gamble when you need to in the second half, but build some confidence in your quarterback. Hasn't played in 3 weeks. And then you know, and I find that to be cocky. And then I'm going to ask the team, why do we have to refocus after 6 games? Are we not too cocky? I mean, we're too cocky with Trayvon. We're too cocky with going for it on fourth down in the first quarter. Relax, come on, man.
Calm down. I understand the frustration, but let me talk that out.
And real quick, I'm going to say one thing, and I'm going to let you go.
Go ahead.
Hey, man, I will take all Cowboy fans, no matter their emotions, no matter their knowledge of the game. I'm not going to judge any other fans for being fair weather or anything else. We don't know what they're going through, and we don't know their knowledge of the game. Young Skywalker, keep doing a great job. I'll take your answers off the air.
Thanks, brother. Thank you for the call. As for, I mean, I wouldn't look. I guess the game's not out yet, but I don't recall Kelvin Joseph playing a ton of snaps on defense, so I can't really speak on that yet. And the all 22 I'll have in a few hours. So I don't know. I don't know if he played. As for being cocky, I think we got to eating the cheese. I think is different than being cocky. Like, I feel like as a NFL player, you have to play with some arrogance, right? You have to play with some level of confidence when you're out there. I don't look at Trayvon having that penalty in the end zone and then giving up the touchdown having anything to do with cockiness, right? It's a bad play. He got on top of, I think it was Cortland Sutton, way too soon in the end zone. Penalty cost us. He was in good position technically on the touchdown throw, so I'm not really tripping about the actual play in regards to, but he gave up the touchdown. It is what it is. Teddy put it right there in the spot and he got beat. So it definitely has a corner. You got to play with that type of cockiness. But it does feel like they ate the cheese due to their energy and the vibe. And even with the coaches, McCarthy talked about being out coached. It felt like maybe Kellen thought he could just roll out a basic game plan and it would work out here, especially when you got your left tackle out. So there's a fine line NFL players have to always balance, and that's being confident / cocky, whatever you want to call it, and then eating the cheese at the same time, especially when you're on a 6-game win streak. I just think human nature came into play in this game. Someone talked about the great game they had against the great game they had against the Vikings. I almost said the Washingtons because of Cousins played with Washington. And then getting back up and having to come play next week. And he said, did we lose our focus after 6 games? It's the NFL, man. Like, it's the NFL. You're not going to go on a 16-game win streak. Happened one time in the history of the league, right? Well, maybe more than one time, but you know what I'm saying. Like, going 17-0, 16-0. You're going to lose games. You're going to get whooped on. It's going to look ugly sometimes. And yeah, sometimes you do need to refocus. These are human beings. They're young. Some of them are young. Some of them have never experienced this kind of thing in the NFL. All they know is, yo, we're winning every week, right? And even when we didn't win against the Buccaneers, we're playing great. And I'm going to say it again. It's saying it all day. I wouldn't necessarily come out of this game focused on saying, wow, man, I wonder if this is the Cowboys. Look at next week. Let's look how they respond. If they come out flat, if they come out with no energy again, if they come out being out physical, the vibe is down again, then there may be a problem festering behind the scenes. I have confidence that's not going to happen because 7 out of the 8 games played this year was the exact opposite, no matter the circumstances they were given. Backup quarterback, backup tackle, backup linebacker, backup corner, whatever. It doesn't matter. They came out and they played with that toughness and that energy. They made plays. So pay attention next week before we condemn the Cowboys now, because there are those out there. I've seen it in the chat. The same old Cowboys, yada, 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 yada. How do we know? How do we know when week 9 it's the same old Cowboys? Because so the other 7 weeks, completely throw away, this is the Cowboys team. I find that hard to believe, y'all. I find it hard to believe. My apologies for the it's usually Mondays. I like to let y'all go, let y'all vent. I know there was a lot of people on the phone. Some of them I couldn't get to. I apologize for you guys staying on hold for a while there. I'm still trying to figure that out because, like I said, I know me. I like to get my stuff out if I'm calling into somebody's show. So I try to do that with y'all. I just ask for you guys to be a little bit, if you can, so I don't gotta put the band hammer down in regards to hanging up on you. Just be mindful. Other people are trying to get in here. Just be mindful. All right, man. I'll hop into the chat for a quick, and then we're going to end this show. Usually these shows go long. Monday, y'all know how it is. What's up, Miss Sheila? What's up? Let me see if got any questions are in here. Some statements. Yeah, Kay Hayes says everyone looked too relaxed and laid back. That's how I felt. Like the game was going to be a walk in the park. I'm just surprised by Dak's play. I never saw him miss so many throws in one game. Yeah. The whole energy from the rip just didn't feel right. Defensively, though, it didn't start that way. Like defensively, they got a 3-and-out, a nice 3-and-out. And even when they scored 2 touchdowns, the defense, I know people were saying, oh, this shows how important the offense is. I mean, the defense is the reason why the game was even still in striking distance. After the first 2 touchdowns, it went field goal, half, punt, field goal, missed field goal. They only gave up 6 points, blocked the punt, but that crap happened, which was a 3-and-out, by the way. And that's with struggling on the ground. I don't think the offense helped the defense enough in this game. Just kind of off of first view and kind of just raw emotions. It came away that way. And that's with the defense struggling to contain the ground game. With all that said, after the first 2 touchdown drives, the defense kept the game within striking distance. The offense literally could get nothing going. So for the first time, I just think you had majority of the game, both sides of the ball, not on the same page. Not on the same page. Flo said the line was trash. It didn't give Dak a chance. The line was not good. But like I said earlier, there were times when Dak had opportunities and he just didn't deliver. I mean, we've seen Dak deliver with traffic around him. He didn't do it in that game. So when you got the line not playing well on top of Dak not playing well, those 2 things don't go together well. Brando said overreaction Monday. Yes. This is the first time I think we can talk about overreaction Monday. King said, I saw too many times yesterday the Broncos getting 5 to 6 extra yards because we kept trying to strip the ball instead of tackling. We got to get back to fundamentals. I am going to be very interested to hear Dan Quinn this week. In fact, I'm pretty sure if they don't go today, I think they go tomorrow. So either tomorrow or Wednesday, we'll do a first word with Dan Quinn. I want to hear his thoughts on this game. I thought he was slightly better than Kellen Moore. Earlier, I was not. They do so many stunts that it got on my nerves. There was 1 3rd down. I saw, who was it? Randy Gregory. And this is our team. This is one of those things where I had to get used to Mike McCarthy. Now I got to get used to Dan Quinn. I'm like, oh, come on, just let Randy get off on the edge right now. And they had him lined up in the middle, and then he did like a half-hearted stunt, and it just didn't work, and they converted 3rd down. I'm like, come on, man, what are we doing? But that's what Quinn does. We stunt more than any team in the league. But sometimes just let your man, let him go. CT said the block punt killed us. Yeah, the block punt was, like I said, it was just a microcosm of the game. I thought that was a wrap after that happened, to be honest with you. What's the name of the song? What song, brother? What song, Blake? All right. With that said, y'all, hold your heads. It'll be all right, Cowboys Nation. We're going to handle some leftovers tomorrow from the game, and then we'll move forward, start talking about this Atlanta Falcons game, because there's no cheese to be eaten, right? There's no poking out your chest after a game like that. We got humbled, right? We got humbled, not necessarily as just the players, but as a fan base too. We got humbled. So feel good about your team in the long term. Let's all refocus. It's on to Atlanta, and Dallas has a chance to right the ship here from that bad game. And I'm still thinking that's an anomaly. I'll put on the tape. We'll look at some things, and we'll discuss it. But I still feel good moving forward. I still feel good moving forward. I do. If y'all seen me during games last year, I wasn't even snapping yesterday. This was literally me the whole time. I'm like, wow, it's going to be one of those kind of games. The only time I got ticked off and I went on Twitter and said it was the punt thing. Because I really thought we had the ball. And we come back and they got the ball and I'm sitting here like I'm losing. I'm like, are you kidding me? Game's over. But all right, man. What about the family meeting? Yeah, I didn't get to the family meeting, did I? Didn't really get to the family meeting. We could do a quick little family meeting. Who I wanted to bring down here from the family meeting was Big Brother, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott played bad. He got to sit down. We got to have a conversation, Dak. Like, well, what happened? Explain to me why your grades were so bad in this semester, right? Why did you fail this test? And have a conversation. Dak Prescott had to come on and sit down. We got to get Terrence Steele and Lyle Collins to come over and sit down. Like, Terrence, what happened out there, Terrence? It wasn't a good day, Terrence. Let's have a conversation. What happened? Now Terrence Steele did go out and talk about his day. I didn't listen to it. I just saw a quote. Lyle also talked about his day. I didn't listen to it. I didn't see any quotes from Lyle. But we got to have them, the twins, the brothers, right? Lyle, you the big bro. You got to set the example. Huh? You didn't set a good example in that fourth quarter. You didn't set a good example overall in that game. Okay? Terrence, you got to be better. And then I had Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon was on punishment. I put Trayvon on punishment. Gave up that long touchdown and pretty much killed the momentum that they got on that 3rd down stop with that pass interference. You're on punishment today, Trayvon. Got to take away your PlayStation, right? Can't go outside and play with your friends. Got to go in the film room. Trayvon will be all right, though. Trayvon will be all right. But yeah, man, I think we'll do that, and I'll be more. We'll have more fun with it in regards to the family meeting when there's losses. Hopefully, there's not many family meetings, right? Like, family meetings are important. But we don't want a bunch of them, because if you got a whole bunch of family meetings, usually there's issues. We want more cookouts, right? Maybe we got full. Maybe I fed them too much. Maybe they got full. But all right, Cowboys Nation, I'm going to go ahead and get on up out of here, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. And come back tonight to listen to Mauricio Rodriguez on A to Z Sports Primetime. And check out atozsports.com/Dallas. Appreciate you. Thank you for the donations, all the calls, getting it out, venting. Make sure to hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe if you enjoyed the show. And like I said, man, appreciate all the day ones, man. Oscar don't want me to end the show. I got to end the show, man. Appreciate y'all. Salute. Peace.
I want me some glory hole.